Okay, let's get into our teams then. Alisson in goal. Joe, throw over to you for the defence. Who's going to be sort of patched up and put out there on Tuesday night? I think you're on mute there, Joe.
Hiya, Joe.
I think Reece Williams will definitely play at centre half. Obviously, Nat Phillips played at the weekend, so I think those two have been rotating in terms of league and European games. Considering Nat Phillips is eligible for the Champions League game, so I think Reece Williams will certainly play. Nico Williams obviously brought off at half time against Brighton, but I don't really think Liverpool have much choice but to say to him, go again. So Nico Williams, Joel Matip, if fit. He wasn't on the bench, but we believe he was just rested, so he should come back in. And then ideally, you'd probably want to give Robertson a rest again, like I said about Wijnaldum before. Doesn't get many rests, but I don't think you can put another player that's fairly fresh into that defence. So I think I'll stick with Robertson at the back.
Matt, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I think Nico Williams is the only real option for Liverpool at right back. I think Reece Williams has to play. I think Joel Matip will play, given that he didn't at the weekend. And it was interesting that Andy Robertson was on media duties earlier today. That would suggest that he is in line to play as well. So, yeah, I think Andy Robertson would be the one. It would ideally be one that you would probably have looked at a couple of weeks ago and put Kostas Tsimikas in, but given the disruption across the rest of the back line, I don't think Jurgen Klopp has got too much choice.
Midfield, Doyley?
How about the defence? I would say about the defence.
Well, okay. If you've got any objections then.
yeah, I've got total objections. I don't think that's going to be the defence. All right, yeah. One thing I would say from having covered Liverpool for a long time is when a player used to get put up for a European game under Benitez, he invariably didn't play. So it used to be like a bit of a running joke. They'd always put somebody up who had no chance of playing. No, only Ryan Babel for some reason. Anyway, going back to the defence, I think, Nico Williams has to play right back. I feel as though he has to play through what's happening at the moment. You know, it's a tough ask for him. It's bad enough coming into the first team. As a youngster, I know he's played one or two games, but it's different now because there's a lot on these games as opposed to just games towards the end of last season. But in a defence that keeps on changing, a defence that's not settled, for that reason, Robertson's got to play left back. And I think it'll be Matip and Fabinho at centre back. I think they'll have to go strong and see how it goes because, as everyone knows, there's these 5 subs that are allowed in Europe. So if Liverpool found themselves in a good position with half an hour to go, you could easily take one of them off. And I'll go into the midfield now if you want. And in midfield, Henderson, Wijnaldum and Jones.
Did you say Robertson at left back, by the way?
Yes.
You went on about Williams and your centre halves, and then right, okay.
Yeah.
And who was your midfield?
It's still Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Jones.
Right, okay. Joe,
Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Jones. Okay.
yeah, that's fine. Joe, what do you make of that midfield?
I'd go for Wijnaldum, Henderson, Jones. Same midfield. Yeah. I don't really think he's got much choice. I think Henderson has to play. Curtis Jones rested, so he'll come back in. And poor Genie, just strap him up, push him out there, and get playing again. Get as much out of Genie now before his contract expires next summer.
You're finishing by the time he leaves.
Juicing completely. Yeah. Matt, what about the forward line for yourself? Are you staying 4-3-3 or are you going to go 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, no, 4-3-3. Same midfield. I think you would bring Sadio Mane back in on the left. I would go for Firmino and Mohamed Salah.
Doyley, forward 3?
Wijnaldum, Henderson and Jones, yeah. I think for the forward, I'd go along with that. I think it'll be the main 3. I think you're looking at Jota started a few games recently. So I think he's somebody, as long as Liverpool have got somebody who can come off the bench and change the game, and Jota can do that. And I think because Mane didn't start the last game, Firmino had a rest the other week. And as I say, with the 5 subs, they can change things around. There's still Minami, who might actually be played in a position where he's actually, he's used to play. I thought it was a bit, I wouldn't say harsh on him on Saturday because he actually got involved quite a lot, but he wasn't able to affect it as much. But the interesting thing for me is he managed to last the 90 minutes. It's very rare that he's played 90 minutes for Liverpool, so that will have benefited him. But yeah, Salah, Firmino, and Mane up front.
And Joe, you happy with that forward line as well? Firmino was denied. We've not even spoken about it. What would have been a sublime assist for Salah at the weekend?
Yeah, sort of underlines what he can do and what we know he can do. Yeah, I think that is the front three for me. I mean, it feels strange, doesn't it? Taking Jota out and sort of going to what is, in my mind, the strongest front three. But as Doyley said, you feel like Jota can come off the bench and do something. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of think if Liverpool can win this game, it'll be massive. It takes the pressure off in other games. It means that they can make those decisions that we've just talked about, switching players around, getting Chimikas some game time. So, yeah, I'd like to see them get the job done, and those three seem to be the best option.
Right,
the other thing as well is that it's a long time until the game against Wolves. So while there are players who won't be playing because they've featured against Brighton, you look at Phillips, he's not. Milner's obviously injured. We've spoken about Jota, Minamino. There's 4 who aren't going to play. So I think there's enough scope to play about as strong as basically almost all of us have named as strong a teams as Liverpool can possibly select for a game that technically they don't even have to win. But as we say, if they win this or get at least a draw, they're through. Then they can rest players next week.
And what's the score going to be then, Doyley?
2-2.
Joe?
Yeah, I fancy a draw. I don't think it's going to be 2-2 because every game seems to be pretty drab at the moment. 1-1.
And Matt?
1-1 for me as well. I think Ajax will come along and not make it a bore draw, but I think they will give Liverpool a fair few problems, particularly with that defence that we've picked there.
Yeah, well, for some optimism, I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Liverpool. So we'll have to wait and see how it does play out. Don't forget to join the guys across on the Liverpool Echo website for the live blog during the course of the game. Here on the Blood Red channel, we'll have the debrief after the game, the post-game podcast, as well as Jurgen Klopp's full post-match press conference, all to come. That's it from us here for this edition of the Blood Red podcast. Don't forget that midfield: Henderson, Wijnaldum and Jones. Thank you.